Tonight, muzzling the mudslinging.
So I'd like to congratulate us on meeting a new low.
The new rules in place for Manitoba MLAs as the legislature speaker chastises lawmakers for a lack of decorum. Also tonight.
And there should be more preventive action now rather than talk.
How Manitobans are marking Red Dress Day, as some families say some parts of the movement no longer reflect them. Plus, taking to the skies. What's in store for the Royal Canadian Air Force training site in Southport as it undergoes an expansion and contract extension?
CTV News. Live from downtown Winnipeg with Taylor Brock.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm John Hendricks. The Speaker at the Manitoba Legislature is putting his foot down on bad behavior. MLAs will be sanctioned for excessively heckling one another. And as CTV's Jeff Keel shows you, Tom Lindsay is banning members from calling each other's names, like bigot or racist.
The decorum at the Manitoba Legislature is anything but polite.
Don't get in a mud fight with a pig because the pig will love it.
But I will wrestle with a criminal like him.
It's gotten so bad, Speaker Tom Lindsay is cracking down on certain behavior and adding 5 words to the list of what is considered unparliamentary.
So-called leader of the opposition would highlight once again his transphobia.
Another racist comment by the Premier.
Lindsay told the House Monday MLAs will no longer be allowed to accuse each other of being a bigot, racist, homophobe, transphobe, or misogynist.
They constitute reflection on a member's character or integrity.
Plus, he says there will be sanctions for members that heckle excessively. Lindsay says he's heard concerns from students and teachers who attend question period. Some teachers said they left partway through. Others said they won't let their students come watch.
Students ask what everyone was so angry about. Why are they all mad? Why are they shouting at each other? Students ask why members are allowed to call each other names.
The tone at the legislature has been tense between the two rival parties, and it might date back to this controversial 2023 handshake between Obby Khan and Wab Kinew.
Clearly they have an intense dislike for each other and a bit of history. Adjunct
Professor of Political Studies Chris Adams says MLAs can speak about issues, just not make comments bordering on slurs.
These are like crossing the line in terms of unparliamentary language. So Tom Lindsay, the Speaker of the Assembly, quite rightly has identified words that are not appropriate.
Khan welcomed the Speaker's ruling, including the ban of the 5 words.
That we have seen have been thrown around very loosely.
But NDP House Leader Nahanni Fontaine is concerned barring the words limits the ability to protect members in her caucus.
This new regime has established that we're more concerned with people's feelings than we are with the safety and humanity of members of the NDP caucus.
Jeff Keel, CTV News, Winnipeg.
As Government House Leader, Nahanni Fontaine says she will make sure that her caucus abides by the Speaker's new rules. Red Dress Day marks the crisis of missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls across Canada. And it's a day of action and reflection for families whose daughters, sisters, and mothers have been lost. And as CTV's Joseph Bernacki shows you, there's also a call to action from families.
Continue to walk with that pride, and every day we will fight for our people.
On Red Dress Day, dozens of people walk downtown to the Forks to show support for missing and murdered Indigenous women.
Losing a sister, not knowing where your sister is, changes you as a person. And I know that I will never be that person again.
Krista Fox traveled to Winnipeg with Janine Morin, whose sister Ashley Morin disappeared from North Battleford, Saskatchewan in July of 2018. Morin says she still thinks about her sister all the time.
I look forward to looking at my phone to get a phone call or a message from her stating, saying, hey, sister, it's me. I dream about her every day.
While some families have come together to remember, others are calling on the federal government for action. 409 families from across Canada have recently signed an open letter asking for a redirection of funds, saying money should flow to grassroots families and not advocacy organizations.
I think that money needs to go to people that do the frontline work, that are out there searching for our women. I'm glad that more people are coming forward because, like I said, it's the families themselves that do the work. on their own.
Guimond signed that letter and goes out looking for women here in our city to this day. Her sister, Stephanie Henderson, was murdered in March 2004.
She hugged me that time and gave me a kiss on the cheek and told me, "Thanks, Barb, for everything. I love you." That's the last time we've seen her alive.
Joseph Bernacki, CTV News, Winnipeg.
A spokesperson from the Office of the Federal Minister of Crown Indigenous Relations tells CTV News they've received the letter and are currently reviewing it. Many people don't know that all of Canada's future military pilots train in Portage-la-Prairie. The Southport region has been training up-and-coming pilots for the Royal Canadian Air Force for the last 20 years. Now that's a boon to the local economy. And now the program is being rebooted with a new training course set to last for another 25 years. CTV's Harrison Shin shows you all that goes down there.
Here in Southport and Portage-la-Prairie, Canada's future defenders of the sky start their journey.
Every single Canadian Armed Forces pilot begins their flying career here in Portage-la-Prairie. And for those that are successful in that training, a large portion of those pilots will conclude their initial pilot training here in Portage and attain their Canadian Armed Forces wings.
It's called the Contracted Flight Training and Support, and it has been held here for the last 20 years. Now, SkyAlign, a consortium of companies, KF Aerospace and CAE, will continue with a new training program which will last another 25 years.
We're getting all new buildings, all new aircraft, all new everything. So it's actually going to be as big or bigger than the current operation.
Ryan adds about 70 types of flight simulators and 70 new aircraft will join the fleet for the extension. Officials from both the RM and the city of Portage-la-Prairie say this brings stability and new development for the region, such as 3 new subdivisions approved by the RM's council.
There's going to be expansion. The new monies that are going to be there spent on infrastructure are going to enable it to expand its capabilities to do even more economic activity for us.
We know that the federal government is investing more in this type of thing in our country, so if we can bring some of those dollars to Manitoba, that not only helps Portage region but helps Manitoba as a whole.
For Fletcher, it is a childhood he grew up with.
Portage has been, again, foundational to the community in terms of not just the economic potential, but just the contribution of the community to the Canadian Armed Forces and to the people of Canada.
Harrison Shin, CTV News, Portage-la-Prairie, Manitoba.
A heads up, phones across the province are going to be lighting up tomorrow afternoon. Manitoba's test of the National Alert Ready system is scheduled for 1:55 p.m. Wednesday. A test message will be broadcast on television, radio, and compatible wireless devices. The semi-regular tests are to ensure the system is operating properly and to increase awareness about how the system works and what it sounds like in the event of an actual emergency. Time now for our first check on the weather, and the temperature has actually improved somewhat. It's now right at 0. The barometer is rising. Humidity is at 69%. However, it will fall a little bit. It's going to head down to -2 overnight, and there is a small chance of flurries. Your wake-up weather, 0 degrees, and again, a small chance of flurries.
I am thankful to be here this morning with you guys.
A serious investigation why Winnipeg police arrested a youth pastor and the charges he's now facing. A 23-year-old youth pastor has been charged with the sexual assault of a teenage camp counselor. Winnipeg police say the sex crimes unit received information about the alleged sexual assault in March. They were told it involved an adult pastor who directed a youth camp group. Police allege the pastor groomed and gained the trust of a youth camp counselor who was a teenager at the time, beginning in August of 2025. Police say the teenager met with the accused on multiple occasions in private and received sexually explicit material from the pastor. The pastor was arrested on April 30th. Carson Alexander Fargo has been charged with sexual assault, sexual exploitation, luring a person under 18 years of age, and distributing sexually explicit material to a minor. He's been released with conditions. None of the charges have been tested in court. The snakes are slithering once again at Narcisse. The province says the snakes began to emerge from their winter dens last week. As the days warm up, activity is expected to increase, with warm, sunny days the best for viewing. Tens of thousands of red-sided garter snakes take part in mating rituals at the snake dens between late April and mid-May. The greatest activity tends to coincide with Mother's Day weekend. Now, if you missed them this spring, the snakes will return to their dens in early September. 3 people are now facing charges in connection to a break-and-enter at a Northern First Nation community's water plant. The incident on April 29th led to fears that Garden Hill First Nation's water safety was compromised. Water had to be flown into the community some 470 kilometers northeast of Winnipeg. It all started after reports that someone had broken into the water treatment plant overnight, damaging some of the machinery and making off with around $100,000 worth of tools and equipment. RCMP now say 3 men were arrested the following day. 2, aged 20 and 18, from Garden Hill are charged with break-and-enter, theft over $5,000, and possession of property obtained by crime. The third, a 53-year-old man from Oxford House, was charged with possession of property obtained by crime. Mounties also say the water has since been deemed safe to drink. The plan for permanent bike lanes along a stretch of Wellington Crescent is starting to take shape. The city is looking for a consultant to design separated bike lanes to run along the roadway between Academy Road and Stradbrook Avenue. An RFP issued last week says the bid should include 2 design options that include separate bike lanes and maximize traffic flow while maintaining emergency access to the area. Construction is expected to happen in spring or summer of 2027 with a price tag around $5.5 million. The deadline for submissions is May 15th. A shot in the arm for the Pantages, how much money the province will give to help bring the historic theater back to life. And we'll have your complete Skywatch forecast when we return. Welcome back. Our first weather picture this evening is this huge pile of ice on the shore of Island Beach near Baconia. Paul, who took the picture, tells us that it's located on the east side of Lake Winnipeg. Amazing. Our second picture is similar, another huge pile of ice on the shore of Lake Winnipeg. This one taken by Ralph in Lakeshore Heights. It's close to Grand Marais. Now, if you look in the center of the picture, you can see there is a bald eagle on the ice. Amazing. You can send us your pictures to winnipegweather@ctv.ca. Speaking of ice, we've been dealing with some very icy conditions the past few days. Our high today was just 3 degrees, a far cry from the normal high of 17 that we should be experiencing. As we go to the satellite map, well, you can see why we are suffering through these cold temperatures. There is that huge low pressure system centered over Ontario that's brought the light snow and cooler temperatures. Now, the good news is that these conditions are about to change. As we get into Wednesday morning, it's almost as if a curtain is being pulled back and the clouds are getting shoved just a little further to the east. Now, as we go throughout the day, we're going to be seeing some clearing happening here in Winnipeg and in the Red River Valley. However, up in the northeast, well, they are still unfortunately going to be dealing with flurries and cloudy skies that are going to be sticking around in much of northwestern Ontario as well. However, later in the night, the sky will clear out even more, setting us up for a lot of sunshine to return to much of Manitoba by Thursday. And then temperatures will also be warming up back into double digits here in the south, which is definitely good news. Now, 11 is the high that day, and it will be 15 degrees on Friday, which is certainly close to where temperatures should be at this time of year. So good news on that front. And speaking of temperatures, let's take a look at the temperatures across the province. The city of Selkirk's urban canopy is growing. Selkirk has begun planting 1,000 trees on boulevards throughout the city. 500 will be going into the ground this spring, with the remaining planted in the fall. It's part of a plan to diversify Selkirk's tree inventory to help manage stormwater, reduce heat, and improve air quality. Selkirk has earmarked $1.6 million for the tree canopy investment, which will include watering and maintenance through 2028. 94% of the cost is being funded through grants. Well, the Winnipeg Jets didn't have a lot of luck in the regular season, failing to make the playoffs, and that's continuing in the off-season as well. Tonight was the NHL Draft Lottery, which determines the order in which teams will pick at next month's entry draft. Now, based on their record, the Jets had a 6.5% chance of selecting first overall. Instead, the team will pick 8th. The Toronto Maple Leafs won the lottery, and they will pick first. A local animal rescue has doubled its monthly operating costs after it took in a record-breaking 106 animals in April, including the removal of dozens of cats from unsafe conditions.
We were asked to step into a situation where there was somewhere between 60 and 70 cats in total that needed to find homes from a hoarding situation.
Tales of Freedom Rescue has since brought in 43 of those cats, from 3-week-old kittens to adult felines. Another 20 are still waiting to be helped. The rescue says the average outdoor cat can have up to 3 litters a year, which can cause numbers to quickly get out of hand. That's what they think happened in this case. All the cats were living on one property and had a variety of health concerns.
They weren't all in the best of conditions. Some had major conjunctivitis, upper respiratory infections. Lots of them had issues with ears were full of ear mites.
And that takes a financial, emotional, and human resource toll on the rescue. Intake and vetting costs are estimated at $20,000, the same as its average monthly operating costs. The rescue says the community has stepped up to help with ongoing fundraising efforts. A big boost for a historic Winnipeg theatre. The province is committing $15 million to help with the restoration of the Pantages Playhouse Theatre. It closed its doors in 2018 due to age and renovation costs. The Winnipeg Symphony Orchestra and the Performing Arts Consortium of Winnipeg are collaborating on the revamp, which would include stage upgrades and modern acoustic systems. The 1,100-seat facility would also act as the new permanent home for the WSO.
We want to reacquaint and reintroduce this wonderful and evocative art center with a lot of generations of activity and involvement by the people of Manitoba, either on the stage or in the audience at this theater. To allow it to slip from us would be a tragedy. And we hope to prevent that tragedy, but not only prevent it, but improve upon it and deliver to you the kind of charm and historic elements that this building represents, but take it to a new, modern, effective, functional, and comfortable format.
The groups are hoping to get another investment from the federal government and hope to reopen the theater in 2029.
We have not seen this before. This has been very unique for us.
An unlikely friendship, how a zebra and giraffe ended up becoming bosom buddies. A couple of best friends are warming hearts around the world. It's because they're an unlikely pair from the animal kingdom. As Danny New shows you, there could be a lesson humans can learn from their bond.
Look at that. A fox and a hound playing together.
The fox and the hound showed us how two different species could be best pals in the movies.
We've been sharing stories about what makes Wild Adventure special.
But a theme park in the Peach State is proving this can happen in real life, too.
It's crazy how they're just hanging out together right now.
Absolutely. This is pretty much all day.
It's the norm.
Bakari the giraffe and his gal pal Curtsy the zebra have been winning over hearts at Wild Adventures in southern Georgia.
Is that something you've seen before?
We have not seen this before. This has been very unique for us.
Animal care specialist Sarah Plain says this first started about a year ago when then 2-year-old Curtsy started hanging out with then 6-year-old Bakari. Before long, she says they were snacking together, grooming each other, and
we will sometimes, especially on a nice sunny day, see him laying down in the yard, and she'll usually curl up next to him.
Oh my gosh.
And for the record, other zebras and even Bakari's older brother also live at the park, but these two just love each other. One commenter on Instagram writing, "This is absolutely the cutest pairing." As zoo general manager Donald Spiller put it,
When we're at the gate opening the park for the day, people will say, "Where are Bakari? Where's Curtsy? Where can I go see them?"
However, here is where the story gets kinda spooky. Let's take a look at the right shoulder of Curtsy. Doesn't that black stripe kind of look like a giraffe? Do you see the head and the neck?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
there's a higher power at work there with that for sure. Excuse me, you're biting my butt.
And thankfully, unlike in Madagascar, this zebra does not have to worry about her best friend being a carnivore, so she can take advantage of having a much bigger friend.
You can see Curtsy getting the shade underneath Bakari, so she's smart.
A musician in Burnaby is sharing his story of healing from an injury that he thought would end his career. Here's CTV's Adam Sawatsky.
Well, it's not unusual for Martin Mayer to be welcomed by so many fans at his international concerts. The pianist never expected to see this particular picture promoting one of them.
I go, why is Paul McCartney on my poster?
Turns out the local promoters just wanted a generic picture of a guitarist and didn't realize they'd picked a former Beatle.
I thought it was awesome. My picture is bigger than Paul McCartney's, so, obviously I must have made it somehow.
Well, Martin had more than made it. Being a headlining musician was the realization of a childhood dream, which is why what happened in the airport shuttle was a nightmare.
Shuttle slams on the brakes. I fly hands forward into my luggage. This was no longer this, it was like that.
But instead of recovering the way his doctors expected, Martin was left with crippling and unrelenting pain, which made playing impossible.
For me, if there is no music, there is no life.
So, after enduring more than 4 years of failing treatments, Martin felt like every day was like this foggy day.
This eternal fog that had no light, no way of lifting.
No hope.
It was just so...
He'd lost his sense of self and his will to live.
Yeah.
But Martin didn't give up and didn't back down.
You have to be your best advocate. When somebody says, "We don't know what this is," I said, "Fine, thank you, next."
And although it took 233 appointments, 21 specialists, and major surgery, Martin can finally play again. While the song was inspired by this painting he made in art therapy, after being asked to visualize how he hoped his health journey would end, Martin hopes it encourages you to keep moving through your foggiest of days until you find your own bright new beginning.
You find that hope again, and at the end of it, it's that feeling of like, okay, I've made it.
Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Burnaby.
Women's clothing provided by RW & Company. Salon services provided by S&T Spa Salon.
One more day of cooler temperatures, but then things will improve by Thursday and definitely on Friday. And that's it for us. We'll see you again tomorrow. Good night.